Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mallikarjun. Right, today is going to be one of the interesting topic because I'm going to show you live demonstration on container database and pluggable database. Basically, we can call them as a CDB and PDB. CDB stands for container database and PDB stands for pluggable database. So the CDBs and PDBs concept are going to be one of the future focus from the Oracle side because starting with the 21C, this all going to be container database. There is no normal database. So, as a DBA, we should learn this container database and the pluggable database, how it works. And even after learn this, CDBs and PDBs concept and administration task, so the backups and recoveries are going to be very, very challenging when it comes to CDBs and PDBs, right? So in this particular today's session, probably I'm not going to cover complete CDBs and PDBs, different ways of backing up them and different ways of restoring them. So I'm going to try to cover in multiples of 2 to 3 sessions. So in this today's session, I'm going to completely cover on my container database backups and different ways of backing up my PDBs and different ways of backing up of root container database, entire container database, and container database with the PDBs and with some of the PDBs with multiple PDBs. All of them we're going to see it in this particular videos. We're going to show you all those different ways of backing up my container database with my PDB database separately. And in our next session, we're going to talk about restoring of these PDBs or the CDBs with whatever the valid backup we have. We're going to take it today. Right, let's jump onto my lab here. PS-EF grep SMON. So, I have this CDB which is run by Oracle user. I already logged in with Oracle user on this Oracle lab one. The CDB is a database, which is of 19C database. If you can see CDB which is running from this Oracle 19C user app Oracle product 19C DB1. Right. So if I do env pipeline grep capital Vora, so CDB SID Oracle base and Oracle home, everything is set here. Let's connect to database. Right, so I'm connected to my 19C database. If I do show PDBs, so this is your container database. Whatever yours says CDB stands for your container database. And when you log into your container database, you're going to see this PDB1, PDB2, and your PDB.seed. PDB.seed is a template, default template comes with your container database. So this is CDB is your container database, which has a root container database, which has a container ID 1. And default, it comes with one of the template that PDB.seed. This is a default template comes with that container database, which has a container ID 2. And whatever the custom PDBs you're going to create, that PDB2, PDB1 and PDB2, these are the custom PDBs, which will start with the container ID 3, 4, and then followed by 5, 6 like that, right? So this is a quick intro about container database and the associated PDBs in my lab environment. Right, let's start with the first thing that will be like, backup of my container database. I'm just going to connect to my container database. I'm going to just try fire backup database plus archive. So I'm not going to mention anything about tag or anything about format or any location. Default, it's going to go into my FRA location. Let's make sure that we have enough FRA location. Show parameter recovery. So we have 12 GB FRA location. Let's increase that one. Alter system set fast recovery DB recovery file destination size equal to make it 30 GB. Scope equal to both. Right, so we verify one more time. Show parameter recovery. Right, it has set to 30 gig. Fine, let's connect to your container database. Exit. I'm going to connect to armain target slash. So that's going to connect to my container database. So you can see CDB with this DB ID connected to my container database. You can just trigger backup database plus archive log all. So if I do list backup, I don't have anything. This is a brand new database we just created. And then this is your control file and HP file auto backup. Let's go ahead and run your backup database plus archive log. So that's gonna back up your container database along with all the PDBs associated to that. You can see this is user on Oracle, Data, CDB, your data file, system, sysocs, undo, user. This is your container database backup. starting full database backup set. So, and then once this container database backup is done here, it is started with your pluggable database backup. These are your pluggable database backup here. So this your PDB GUID, global ID, right? So, and then again, it has its own systems, sysocks, undo users. And then going back here, again, this is one more GUID, one of the pluggable database here. And then and again, it has systems, sysocks, undo user data files. And then after that, yeah, that's it. So these are your two pluggable databases, which is backed up along with your container database. Right. So after that, after that, it has backed up my SP file and control file auto backup here. Right. So if I do this backup now, right. So you can see all these backup pieces here. Right. So go up all the way top. Let's minimize this one. Right. So this is your SP file and control file auto backup, and then this is backup set 2. Again, this is going to be a backup set, and then this is a backup set name, which has archive log sequence here. This is archive log sequence backup, followed by this particular backup piece, which is again having these many data files here. List of data files on this particular backup piece. These are the data files. CDB PDB data file and systems sysocks undo data file. And then again this backup set 4. Again, it is going under this particular PDB name here, and backup set and date, and then this is a backup set. And again, this particular backup set includes 1, 2, 3, 4 data files. Again, come down here. Again, this particular backup set. Again, it is also data file backups. These are the data files for the other PDBs, PDB1 and PDB2. And this particular backup set is again your system sysocks undo your PDB$C data file. This is PDB$C database. So that's your default template or data file backup here. And then this particular backup, this backup piece is belong to these data files. And then that is for your PDB2. And scroll up, and again, these bad data files are belong to this GUID. This GUID belongs to your PDB1. And then these data files are part of these data files are backed up in this backup piece. And then this backup piece is for your CDB. That's the main database. Right. So yeah, and last one is for your this one is for your again archive backup, and then this one is for your control file and HP file auto backup. Right. So that is a simple command: backup database plus archive will backup all the container database associated PDBs and the PDB$C template with the root container database, everything. But if you want to back up a container database alone, you can connect to Arban again and then do this backup database root. Right, so you can see CDB, and then data file, system, sysocks, undo, and users. So yeah, that's done. After that, it's gonna back up your control file HP file auto backup. Right, so this is for your root database backup. And then root backup, you can do this CDB $root backup pluggable database, CDB $root. You can connect to your container database, and container database you can do CDB $root. So again, CDB $root is going to do the same thing, whatever you did here. Database, you can just mention backup database root, or you can just mention backup pluggable database CDB $root. Both are going to be like same thing. Both are going to do your root container database backup. And then if you want to backup particular PDBs, so I have PDB1, so I can make it PDB1 with a capital letter, small letter, doesn't matter. PDB1, PDB2. Right, so I'm just going to back up one PDB now. I have to connect to my target database. That is my container database. So I already connected to my container database. I'm just going to do backup pluggable database PDB1. Right, so you can see this is going to be one of the PDB1 GUID. Right, so PDB1 GUID, and then it has backed up my PDB1, all my system, sysocs, undo users, and then this is my backup piece name. And at the end of that, your control file and HP file auto backup. But if I want to backup PDB 1 and 2 together, I can directly run this one. Right, so this is my PDB 1, all the 4 data files you can see, system sysocs undo, system sysocs undo users, everything is backed up here. Again, this is my PDB 2, system sysocs undo, everything is backed up into this backup piece. At the end of that, you're going to back up your control file and SP file auto backup. Right, if I want to backup a pluggable database and database name, I can just mention PDB1 or PDB2, whatever name you want, plus arcalog. You can just take arcalog backup as well along with that. Right, you can see here, backup pluggable database PDB1. It's going to take your arcalog from your container database. It has taken my arcalog backup here into this backup piece. And after that, it started with my PDB database backup here. This is my PDB database backup. And it has backed up into this particular backup piece here. After that, again, it took one more extra arcalog here. After that, control file and HP file auto backup. Right, this command also will work. So you can do pluggable database backup PDB1, PDB2, PDB3 plus arcalog. It won't take same thing. So this is one way you can connect your container database and backup your pluggable database, right? So there's other way to backup your pluggable database, like connect to Armansys PDB, and then you can take your respective backups of that PDB. So I'm just going to connect Armand target sys PDB1. Let's connect to that one. Armand target sys at that PDB1. So it's going to connect to my PDB1. Not connecting, not resolving the name. Right, it's not resolving the name. Quickly, we can see TNS ping PDB1. So I don't have PDB1 TNS admins here. Like, let me add that TNS admin name here. Go to my TNS files. Okay, let's remove this one. Don't need this. Let's come back here, remove this. This also not needed. Right, so quickly I can add my PDB1 and PDB2 here just for demo purpose here. PDB1, this will be your PDB1. Save this one. And then the name I'm going to give it as PDB1 for this one. PDB1, right? And then I'm going to add it to PDB2 as well. This will be your PDB2, and then the service name also PDB2. Right, save it. Right, PDB2, right? So do the TNS ping now. TNS ping for your PDB1. Right, I'm able to do TNS ping. Now you can connect the same using the same method, Armand target sys at that PDB1. Right, so right, connected to your container database PDB1, right? So container database followed by your PDB1, and then there's the DB ID for that. Once you connect to your PDB directly here, so you can run the same normal command, backup database. It's going to back up your PDB, whichever the PDB you connected, backup database. As you can see, this is your PDB1 GUID, and these are the data files, system sysocs undo users, and this is your backup piece. Right, finished your backup here, backup database. Or you can do PDB1, you can mention, even though you connected to your PDB, you can just mention like backup pluggable database PDB1 plus arcalog. Right, you can see again the same pluggable database PDB1 it has taken and it has done here. And then since plus arcalog you mentioned over here, skipping arcalog backup when you connect it to PDB, because arcalogs are at your container database at your CDB level. It will not be having arcalogs at your PDB level. If you mention this plus arcalog, it's gonna skip your arcalog backup here. You can clearly see the skipping arcalogs when connected to PDBs. It has taken only the PDB data file backup and then completed, right? This is about your backing up of your PDBs plus backing up of your CDBs and also backing up of your CDB and PDB together, right? And now a few more scenarios, tablespace backup of PDBs. So I can connect to my target, like same command, armand target sys followed by your PDB. And once you connect to your PDB, you can back up a tablespace system, sysocs user, whatever you want. Let's exit here, connect back one more time. And then once you connect to your PDB, you can see the moment you connect armand targets is at that PDB name, it will connect to your container database followed by your PDB. So you can simply run backup tablespace system and sysocs users. Like this is just a command. You can I can just going to take only one tablespace backup, that is system data files, right? You can followed by, you can take multiple data file tablespace backups with the comma separated, right? So this is your system data file associated to that system tablespace. It has backed up here. You can run the same command with the 3 tablespaces. It's going to take a backup in one shot, right? You can see your sysoc system users, all data files, all tablespaces has backed up into this particular data file, or in this particular backup piece, right? So this is one thing. You can connect to your CDB. I can connect to my CDB DB, and then I can take a tablespace backup, PDB1 system data file, PDB2 sysocs, and PDB1. I can take multiple. Like for example, this is one example I gave here, and the other one example, I just want to take my system data file of PDB1 and PDB2 together. So I can just mention my PDB1 system tablespace, and then PDB2. Uh, just mention here PDB2 system tablespace, just single command, but you have to connect your container database. Let's exit from here. Right, so you connected to your CDB, not a PDB here, like it's connected to CDB with a DB ID. So I'm going to run this one, backup tablespace, PDB1 system tablespace, PDB2 system tablespace, or I can mention PDB1 system and sysocs, multiple tablespaces from multiple PDBs. You can run it in one single command. You can see, right? So this is your system data file from your PDB1. And again, this is a system data file from your PDB2. Everything is backed up here, followed by your control file HP file auto backup. Right, so this is for your tablespace backup. You can even backup the tablespace if you don't mention anything over here, right? This is a tablespace backup of a PDB, and if you want to backup of your tablespace of your CDB, so you don't need to mention PDB name here. You can just mention, I can just put it down here. One more concept, backup of your CDB instead of PDB, you can mention CDB. So the commands are going to be pretty straightforward, and you can just need to remove that PDB name in this command. So if you want to backup a PDB's tablespace, you have to mention the PDB's name over before the tablespace name. If you want to backup the tablespace of a CDB, anyway you connected to a CDB database, you no need to mention those PDBs here. So just mention like this. Connect to backup of your CDB database, tablespace backup of your CDB container database, backup tablespace system sysocs users undo, backup tablespace system sysocs, whatever it want. Like now I just want to show you one system data file, system tablespace backup here of my container database, not the PDB. So you can see here CDB data file and then system data file. It's going to take a backup of your system data file of your container database, followed by your control file HP file auto backup here. Right, so that's about your tablespace backup of your CDBs and PDB. Now coming back to data file backup of a PDB. So data file have a unique file numbers, fully qualified names, so that we can backup them from the root container database of a individual PDBs. Like I can connect to my CDB database using this one, or I can connect to my particular PDB database and I can just mention backup data file one with a number. If I exit from here, if I connect to my CDB here, select or else I can do describe DBA underscore data underscore files, right? So if I do select file ID comma file name from DB underscore data underscore files, set pages 1000, lines 1000. So let's re-execute that one again. So these are your data file name of your container database 1347. If I mention data file IDs, we're gonna back up my these data files from a container database. Show PDBs. If I do alter session set container equal to PDB1, right? So if I run the same command, select file ID, file name, you can see the file IDs, file number start with 9, 10, 11, 12. This is for my PDB1. So if I do alter session set container equal to PDB2, and then if I run the same command, the file numbers are unique. It will not be like same, like, if it's 12, after that 13, 14, 15, 16. So irrespective of your container database, pluggable databases, whatever it is, your file numbers are unique. There won't be any duplicate file number here. So that makes our life easy. So you can just connect to armament target slash, you just connect to your container database, right? So I connected to my container database here, CDB DB, my CDB database. So I can just do backup data file. I can just mention backup data file. I can take one data file number one, that is my CDB, comma one data file I can take from my PDB1 11, comma one data file I can take from my PDB2, that is my PDB2, right? 15 is PDB from PDB2. So one from CDB, one from PDB1, one from PDB2. Because the data file numbers are unique, it can't be duplicate between the CDBs or PDBs. So I can just take backup data file and then I can mention the file number. You can see it started taking a system data file from my CDB, and it again started taking from undo data file from PDB1, again undo tablespace from my PDB2. So those are the three data files it has backed up here. And then if you want to connect to particular PDB, you can connect, and then you can take a particular PDB data file backup, PDB1. I can just connect here, exit, armament targets is at the rate PDB1. So now you connected to PDB1 here. See, container database followed by PDB1. So you have your PDB1 here. So PDB1, you have PDB1 data file here, 10, 11. You can take a 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12 data file backup here. You cannot take the other PDB5 data file backup here. If I see backup data file, so my PDB1, where's my PDB1? PDB1, it has 9, 10, 11, 12. I can take 10 and 11 now, 10, 11. So I'm able to take my system and undo data file of PDB1. So if I want to try to take this PDB2, it has 13, 14, 15, 16. Try to take a backup of 14 and 15. Let's see what happens here. Like, if I say 14, 15, right? So error while locking up of data file 14, because those data files are not belongs to PDB1, because you precisely connected to PDB1. So it will allow you to take a backup of those data files belong to the PDB1. If you could have connected to CDB container database here, you can take any PDB's data file or any CDB's or CDB's data file or any of the PDB data files, because you connected to the container database itself, right? So that's not supported. Connecting to one PDB, start taking backup of other data files of belongs to other PDB, it's not possible. Right, so archive read log backup of your container database. Again, no archive log backups, no archive logs at your PDB level. So archive log backup should be done at your CDB level. So if you try to take a archive log backup of a PDB level, it will skip it. We already saw that one, right? So now I can just connect to my container database, CDB database, just armament target slash, and I can take backup database plus archelog or the backup archelog all. You're going to take your all the archelog backup at your container database level, right? So these are the archelogs. It has backed up into this backup piece, and then this is your control file and SP file auto backup. Right, so that's pretty much for the container database level backup and the pluggable database level backup and backup of the table space or the backup of the data files. Hope that's clear about container database backups, right? So in our next session, we're going to start off the recovery of all the PDBs, CDBs, table spaces, data files, and various mechanism to recover those, data files. Yeah, until then, try practicing these guys. We'll see you in our next session. That will be purely on the recovery of my PDBs. Thank you.